All of our Earth's energy ultimately comes from the sun. It drives the hydrologic cycle, the circulation of water through the atmosphere, the formation of clouds, and the return to the biosphere as rain and snow. This natural, continuous cycle of water unfolds daily in the mountainous rainforests of Clayoquot Sound. Here, the Tloquet First Nation is using abundant rainfall to generate electricity, providing clean energy to the homes and businesses of local communities. Canoe Creek Hydro is a 6 megawatt independently owned hydroelectric company that creates power for BC Hydro, feeding into their power grid near the communities of Iqaluit and Tofino on the west coast of Vancouver Island. This small company is a working example of sustainable economic development, producing renewable energy in harmony with the surrounding forest. Here's how it works. A portion of the stream flow is diverted into a high elevation intake. The water travels down the steep hill in a pipe called a penstock, all the way down to the powerhouse, where high pressure water drives a turbine. The turbine spins a generator, creating electricity.
My name is Saya Masu. I'm from the Tloquet First Nation. I'm from the Masu family and the Frank family in Tloquet. I'm on our band council and on our development board for our hydro projects, and as well as our economic development corporation for the nation. Our nation got into the hydropower business after another proponent developed one of our rivers without our participation. It made us understand the project, how we could do one better, how we could do one as part of a strategic land use plan for our mountains, our rivers, identifying a project that's above fish habitat, near hydropoles, and that created a drive for us to develop one of our own.
I'm Ian Cuthbert. I'm president of Canoe Creek Hydro and managing a minority partner in partnership with the Tloquet First Nation. So my role in the development of Canoe Creek Hydro was primarily in project permitting, financing, contracting, and legal and insurance, putting together the team and the paperwork to put this project together.
As Director of the Economic Development Corporation of the Tloquet First Nation, my job is to see projects like Canoe Creek from their inception to completion and to provide oversight for them once they're up and running. When starting these projects, there's a fair amount of work that has to be done up front. This requires a fair amount of investment, upwards to $1 million. Federal and provincial programs have been very helpful in getting us through this first risky stage. Putting permitting in place, getting licensing done, getting environmental studies done, getting everything in place that had to be done before we went for financing to build the project. Without that funding, these projects would never go forward.
I'm the plant manager at Canoe Creek Hydro, and I work really closely with Trent Masso, the plant operator, and we monitor the plant on a daily basis to make sure that this plant is operating at its maximum capacity, that everything's running smoothly. When we decided we were going to construct this project in Clayoquot Sound, we realized it was a UNESCO biosphere right in the heart of Clayoquot Sound. There were 1 million visitors a year driving by, right by the powerhouse. That it's the heart of the Haakman, the bread basket of the Tloquet people. It was really important to the values of both myself as well as the Tloquet to make sure that the footprint was small, that we preserved the ecological integrity of the valley. Before we began here, it was an old-growth, untouched valley, and we wanted to make sure that that ecology was preserved. We went to all sorts of efforts to narrow up the road. Usually when you build a penstock, you would build enough room for the excavators and the machine to work beside the penstock, whereas in this situation, we've actually put the penstock right down the center of the road, and we worked on either end of it. As you can see, the road is the footprint's relatively narrow.
Tlaoquit's vision for hydro development really had to be part of a strategic land use plan. For us to communicate to our own membership about why we're doing these projects in our rivers really needed to be part of a strong rationale, a part of rebuilding our forests, our fisheries, our rivers, finding sustainable economic development that won't impact other economies. So all that became deliberated in our land use planning, where campgrounds could go, where trail networks could go, including hatcheries that we see suitable as a site like this. It created a snowball effect of vision building and dialogue in the community about what we want to see in our mountains, and this is where we started.
So you want rain, do you?
Yes, rain is a blessing now, as it always ought to have been. It is, yes. Yeah, love the rain now.
The first time I was involved in the environmental impact assessment of a small hydro project, I was impressed by the fact that once the project was built, it would be a net gain for the environment, that it was going to provide sustainable, clean electricity and have a very small footprint. And that was always our goal here at Canoe Creek, and also the goal of our partners, the Tlaoquit First Nation, was to use this project as an entry into building a sustainable economy. When we talk about sustainability, we often talk about locally grown food and other products and services that come from within the community. And it's the same with this project. The people who are involved in building this hydro project and in operating it live here in the community or on Vancouver Island. And the power that is produced by Canoe Creek Hydro is sold to BC Hydro under a 40-year electricity purchase agreement. And that power goes to local communities of Tofino and Ucluelet to provide energy for homes and services there. We can generate enough clean energy to provide the needs for over 2,000 homes.
Just one more aspect that I find vital to an operation like this is that this is above fish habitat, but just critically right above fish habitat, that if we operated a hatchery here, we could put our smolts in the tail race and inject fish back into the stream. Without this operation, I couldn't pursue a hatchery, and it's our ambition to do that. We've left the wirings on the building to put another hatchery here and just get through the salmon roundtable process and identify this as a priority to locate and have more employment, rebuilding our rivers, sustainable economies like green energy and ecotourism to educate people about green energy and fish. It's just an incredible fit.
The great thing about this is that we can actually operate this exact screen from our laptop at home while we're having coffee in the morning.
One of the key differences between run-of-river hydropower projects such as Canoe Creek and large-scale hydro projects is that the large-scale projects create a dam and store a reservoir of water behind that dam with a large footprint, and also they're able to provide energy, firm power, throughout the day and throughout the year. Here we have a small head pond, small footprint, and we're only able to use the water that's available in the stream at any given time, ensuring that we first provide water in the bypass reach that bypasses our intake so that there's enough water in the stream for insects and for the ecological integrity of the stream. What better business to be in than turning rainfall into clean energy? And this is one of the only natural resource sectors where you can derive benefits from natural resources without actually depleting or degrading them.
Challenges on this project from start to finish, A to Z, from the planning, feasibility, strategic land use planning, open houses, communicating with our membership. Getting financing for a $15 million project was incredibly hard.
Renewable energy is one resource that the nation has lots of opportunity to develop. It's not impossible to dream that within the next 10 years the nation will have developed 6, 7, possibly 8 of these projects. All of these projects will contribute and do contribute significantly to the nation's economic development strategy.
we've learned. We're able to do better now and get financing more in place. But boy, this first project was a learning curve for us. It was incredibly hard, but an incredibly beautiful project and a proud thing for our whole community.